April. Oh my goodness. April 2022. Can you believe it? The school year is zooming by, but I bet for many of you, it still feels like the end is a long ways away. And because it's the beginning of the month, I want to talk a little bit about what to expect this month, and particularly two different kinds of students and what happens to them in April. Before I do that, I just want to say hi. My name is Gretchen Wegner. If you are just getting introduced to me, I am an academic life coach working directly with students and parents to help them build their anti-boring toolkit for how to approach the stresses of school and schooling. And I also work with educators to help them better support students with those stressors as well. And speaking of stress, let's look at this. So there is a kind of student who starts the semester, let's just pretend that start is in January, with a very low sense of emergency, right? I think most of us start that way. And as we go through, we start getting more and more late work or getting worse and worse grades on tests. And that state of emergency just goes up and up and up. And it particularly starts to spike in April because the pressure of the semester, there's more and more stuff being assigned. There are final projects that need to be turned in. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse, right? So if you don't get support and intervention around the state of emergency, it just gets worse and sometimes you can't recover. I call these kinds of students who come to me, at least in April, triage students. You have some massive bleeding, whether it's a lot of late work or too many low grades on tests, and you need help to stop the bleeding. Now, a triage student who gets coaching or get some kind of support and intervention, they still have some bleeding, but usually it evens out a little bit, right? We can't fully recover. We can't fully come down to have no emergency at the end of the semester, but coaching really does help a student stabilize, which is what medical folks want to do with a patient that comes in a triage state. So coaching can be a really useful thing. It's not too late. And there is a link below to all of my trained anti-boring approach coaches. Now, one of the wonderful things about reaching out to get a coach now is that next semester, you will have built a relationship with your coach. They will know you at your worst, right? And they will have helped you at your worst. And then you start the semester with a fairly low sense of emergency. As you work with your coach, things will get a little hard, but you'll learn how to stabilize. And you'll be able to end the semester feeling actually like you accomplished a lot with much less drama and much less bleeding than happened when you came in as a triage client. And I call this kind of coaching proactive coaching. There can be a real gift, parents, in getting a coach in the triage state. Right? It's going to feel really scary and hard, but there can be a gift in having your student build a relationship with a coach in this state and then continue on for the next semester so that they can proactively build their skills rather than just try and stop the bleeding. And coaches out there, or those of you who are thinking about starting your coaching business, now is a good time to seek out who are those clients who you can help stop the bleeding so that you can get to know each other now and then next semester have a really satisfying time together building those skills and stabilizing even more fully. No matter who you are, I've got something for you. So here are some actions you can take. If you're a student, check out the links below for my trained coaches. There are plenty who have extra room right now. Some have sliding scales. So reach out, check them out. You might also be ready, the educators out there, to actually become a coach, start a side business, or actually transition away from schooling into having your own business. If that's you, there are links below for how you can get some more information about becoming a coach. Now is the right time for that as well. And all of you can come ask me questions at gretchenwegner.com/live. I do a free office hours every month. So find the date for the April one, or whenever you're listening to this, and come, let me support you. Let me help you figure out how to take the next steps to having a much less stressful school year, and maybe even a thriving one. And I really look forward to meeting you and supporting you. And as always, I'll be back with a video next week. Take care, y'all.